Borrowers Should Repay the Lender by Tom Shaw. Do you want to live life without debt? Read this and learn the secret wealth people have learned. People are confused as to what money is and where the money comes from to fund a bank loan check. Most people incorrectly think that money is only cash and that other depositors funded the bank loan check. Everyone agrees the borrower should repay the lender. We all agree we should repay the one who funded the loan. The problem is that most people are confused as to who funded the loan. In America, money is more than just cash. Money is anything that has value and can be sold for cash and is accepted as money. If you use gold to buy a car, the gold is used as money. If you have $10,000 of government bonds that can be sold for $10,000 of cash and you use the bonds to buy the $10,000 car, you use the bonds as money. Banks routinely accept bonds as money and deposit the bonds into checking accounts. If the bank accepted $5,000 of bonds from you, deposited the bonds into your checking account, and loaned the $5,000 to a borrower, the borrower should repay the bank and the bank should return the $5,000 to you. A bond is a fancy name for a promissory note agreement to repay a loan. If you ask for a $10,000 bank loan, the banker has you sign a $10,000 promissory note where you agree to repay the loan. The loan agreement says that the bank can sell your promissory note to investors for $10,000. The investors want the interest. If you do not pay the interest, the bank forecloses and collects the money. Both the bond and the note can be sold for cash, giving them equal value to cash. According to the Federal Reserve bank publication, the promissory note that you signed is money. When the banks deposit the borrower's promissory note into a checking account, the bank accepted the promissory note as money. If you deposit money at the bank, it is like loaning the bank the money. If you deposit it or loan the bank the money, you can get the money back. If you travel to Japan, you will go to the money changer to exchange equal value of American money for Japanese money. If you exchange $100 of coins for $100 of cash, you traded value for value, and exchange is not a loan. If you deposit $100 cash and withdraw a $100 check, that is an exchange. It is not a loan. If you loan Joe $100 of cash and he returns $100 back to you as a loan, two loans were exchanged. Each borrower should repay the loan. If you loan the bank a $1,000 bond or promissory note that can be sold for $1,000 cash, and this loan funds the bank loan check back to you, then both borrowers should repay their loan. The problem is that the bank demands that you repay your loan, as the banker refuses to repay or acknowledge the loan from you to the bank. This is the trick according to the Federal Reserve Bank publication. The bank never loaned other depositors money to fund the bank loan check to you. The bank recorded your promissory note money or equivalent cash value as a loan from you to the bank. The bank never recorded a bank liability showing that the bank owes you $10,000 of money promissory note as a loan from you to the bank. The proof is in the Federal Reserve Bank publications, Modern Money Mechanics, page 6, and Public Debt, Private Assets, page 2. And many other publications admit that the banker created new money when the bank used your promissory note as new money, which the bank deposited into your checking account with your name on the checking account. A deposit records the loan from you to the bank. The $10,000 loan from you to the bank funded the $10,000 check returned to you as a loan from the bank to you. Two loans were exchanged. Bankers universally agree that the one who funded the loan should be repaid their money. They owe you $10,000. The bank never loaned other depositors money to you, and the bank never loaned 1 cent of the bank's money to you. You funded the loan to yourself. You owe the bank $10,000, and the bank owes you $10,000 as proven by the bank's $10,000 bank liability. Bankers want you to believe that the bank loaned you other depositors money so that you feel obligated to repay the loan and never ask the bank to repay the loan from you to the bank. If the bank never returns the $10,000 to you, the bank gets your money for free and gets the liens on the nation's assets for free. The bank forecloses if you do not repay the loan. The bank gets $10,000 for free. This has the economic effect similar to stealing, refusing to repay the loan from you to the bank, and creates $10,000 of new money, which has the economic effect similar to counterfeiting. Did you agree to give the bank $10,000 for free and have the same money returned to you as a loan? The banker knows that you are not that stupid. If you believe that the borrower, banker, should repay the lender, you, then the bank needs to pay the new $10,000 bank liability owing you money. If the bank loaned you other depositors money, the money should be returned to the other depositors. If the bank altered your agreement loaned you no money to obtain your promissory note, recorded the money promissory note as a loan from you to the bank to fund the bank loan check, then you should repay your loan and the bank should repay its loan from you to the bank and return the money to you. The economics are similar to stealing your car or money, selling it for cash, and returning the cash to you as a loan. The bank should return the car or money to you because you funded the loan. The trick allows the bankers to transfer nearly all of the wealth to the banker for free, forcing the others into debt. The controversy is simple. Should the borrower bank repay the lender, you? If yes, all bank loans could be canceled, paid off. When the bank repays the loan from you to the bank, it could pay off the loan from the bank to you. If a gunman stole your money and returned it to you as a loan, you would call the police and demand the money be returned to you. What is the difference if a gunman or a banker took your money and returned it to you as a loan? One has a gun and the other has a suit and tie. Both transferred your wealth from you to themselves for free and left you in debt. Refusing to pay a debt is similar to stealing. We are not calling bankers criminals. Bankers are excellent businessmen who devised a method to getting your money for free and getting politicians elected to make it appear legal. The banker did not steal from you. The banker never told you that he still owes you money, that there is a new bank liability owing you money, and that he never paid you. Judge Mahoney called the bankers robbers. Congressman Louis McFadden, former chairman of the House of Committee on Banking and Currency, called it swindle. What is the proof? The Federal Reserve Bank publication, I Bet You Thought, page 27, and Modern Money Mechanics, page 2 through 25, and others admit that the bank creates new money every time that banks grant loans, that the promissory note is money, and that the bank records a loan from you to the bank, resulting in new bank liabilities. The bank liability shows that the bank owes you money from recording the promissory note as a loan from you to the bank. No banker has dared sign Tom Shaw's affidavit that would prove that the banker is innocent, and no banker has dared to collect the $1,000 challenge proving Tom Shaw is wrong. Why have I not heard of this before? Bankers use this secret to transfer the wealth from you to the banker for free. Bankers get the liens. If you do not pay the loan, the liens allow the bankers to foreclose and get your property for free on the nation's assets for free. Bankers are one of the biggest political funders of judges, sheriffs, and lawmakers. If a politician opposes the bankers fund their opponent next election. Some politicians have spoken out against the bankers. The media refuses to report all the news. The other politicians have learned not to oppose the bankers until the voters wake up. Bankers own or collect all major media or control all major media through either direct ownership or by loans or advertising money. The media controls who is elected. You relied on the news only to learn that they did not want you to learn this secret. It is all about profits. There is one thing that bankers fear. They fear informed, united voters who can vote out any politicians representing the bankers and can vote in statements representing people changing the banking system. The results, some people have pushed Tom's book and asked the bankers questions. Results vary. In a number of cases, without going to court, the lender volunteered to repay the loan from you to the bank, which paid off the loan from the bank to you. Millions of dollars of bank loans have been paid off. Tom's books have over 600 questions to ask the banker. One person sent the banker 40 questions. The lender responded by sending bank zero balance owed on his car loan. His $12,000 car loan became zero. We heard similar stories from homes to credit card debts. At this time, bankers resisting zeroing out larger loans. We are told that some lenders make you sign an agreement saying that you will not tell, so others will not ask to have their loans zeroed out. Bankers have routinely told Tom Shaw that if the American voter ever learned what the bankers have done to this nation, they are going to quickly exit the country. One of the top bankers of this nation told Tom that bankers control the lawmakers, judges, law enforcement, and media. The only thing the bankers fear is the people learning the truth as to what the bankers have done. Tom Shaw says, "We need bankers. We are not here to destroy the banking system. We must stop the economic effects similar to stealing, counterfeiting, and swindling." The good news is that bankers and government officials are now coming to Tom and joining him, knowing that soon the whole nation will learn the truth. As you keep spreading the truth and having people join, more and more lawyers, CPAs, judges, and sheriffs are joining us. Bankers, remember American history. About 165 years ago, the bankers did the same thing to us. The grassroots Americans organized and voted in President Andrew Jackson. He won by a landslide. He canceled their bank and corrected the injustice. Public opinions changed public policy. 25 years ago, no American would have predicted that tobacco companies would willingly settle out of court. Nazi Germany companies using slave labor have recently settled out of court, agreeing to give $1 billion to victims and their heirs for slavery in World War II. Swiss banks are returning money to the survivors of the Holocaust. Soon the borrower, banker, will be forced to repay the lender, you. We wish to show you 6 ways to put large sums of cash in your pocket now using this bank loan trick to your advantage. Discover the banker's secret to quickly double money. You can start with $100. Use the cash to pay off a loan. This banking change will change every investment and investment strategy. Get the details now and prepare today so you will reap your benefits. Federal Reserve Bank publication Money Modern Mechanics gives the bankers instructions on how to expand and contract the money supply to create a recession or depression to increase bank profits and foreclosures. If we only use cash and not give it to the banker for free to be returned to us as a loan, or if we used gold and silver as the only currency and money, then the banks could not use promissory notes as money, nor create bank-induced recessions, nor have the economic effects similar to stealing, counterfeiting, or swindling. And if Lincoln was president today, and if his cash were the only currency or money, we would not have a $6 trillion $6 trillion debt, or any need for personal IRS taxes. Your family would be $250,000 richer today simply by changing currency. The American Revolutionary War resulted when the King of England changed the banking system, resulting in the king in the same banking system we have today. They left this part out of our history. Today's banking system came from England. What England could not win in a shooting war, the bankers from England got for free by creating money and placing liens on your property. If you can counterfeit money and loan it out, or steal money and return it to the victim as a loan, you will own nearly everything for free. Politicians allowed it because they personally profit from the system. Why are many families dependent on both spouses working? If someone kept stealing your money and returning it to you as a loan, both spouses must work to repay the loan and to get back what was just stolen. When we correct the problem, one spouse can stop working and you will have the same standard of living as you have today. Today, both spouses work because they do not understand how money and banking made them poor and made the bankers and politicians rich. You have a choice. You can join us and profit from this information, or you can remain in debt and allow the bankers to get your money for free. If Tom Shaw is wrong, collect the $1,000 challenge. See the affidavit on this site. If Tom Shaw is right, join us and become debt free. If the banker claims that Tom is wrong, then have the banker sign Tom's affidavit to prove Tom is wrong. The banker must prove the Federal Reserve Bank publications are wrong. Why work and give your money to the banker for free? Would you and your friends like to save an extra $250,000 when you receive a credit card loan or bank loan? You first become the lender to the bank. This creates a new liability owing you money for the loan from you to the bank, which funded the loan from the bank to you. Do you believe that the borrower bank should repay the lender you? If you add up all the bank liabilities created when banks grant loans and divide that by the average family of four, we estimate that the banks owe the average family about $250,000. Bankers and those supporting the banks have tried to misquote Tom Shaw, but cannot prove the bank loan does not have an economic effect similar to stealing, counterfeiting, or swindling. They may try and destroy the messenger, but they cannot destroy the message. There is one easy way to spot counterfeit information. When you know the truth, the counterfeit is easy to spot. The key question is simple. Should the borrower repay the one who funded the loan? If they say yes, your loan is paid off. If they say no, you do not need to repay the loan. The law says if there is not mutual understanding in the agreement, then there is no agreement. The law says if there is not mutual understanding in the agreement, then there is no agreement. They cannot reveal the real agreement. Tom's first two books reveal truth in everyday language. Bankers fear Tom's two books. One person asked a judge one question in the book. The judge ran out of the courtroom. If you want the books, get them now. The free information on this site given to you hardly scratches the surface. Please read all of the free materials so that you can educate your friends and ask them to join. We only sell the books through leaders.